Antibiotics are among the greatest medical discoveries in human history. They have saved hundreds of millions of lives and completely transformed the way doctors treat bacterial infections. Before antibiotics were discovered, even a small cut or a routine surgery could become life-threatening if bacteria entered the body. Today, antibiotics make modern medicine possible. Organ transplants, cancer treatments, major surgeries, and intensive care all rely on the ability to control dangerous bacterial infections. However, many people misunderstand what antibiotics actually do. Some believe they work against every illness, while others think they strengthen the immune system. Neither is true. To understand how antibiotics work, we first need to understand the difference between bacteria and viruses. Although both can cause similar symptoms, such as fever, coughing, sore throat, or fatigue, they are completely different types of organisms. Bacteria are living, single-celled organisms. They can grow, reproduce, consume nutrients, and carry out all the basic processes needed for life on their own. They exist almost everywhere: inside soil, water, the air, on our skin, and throughout our digestive system. In fact, the human body contains trillions of beneficial bacteria that help digest food, produce vitamins, and support the immune system. Only a relatively small number of bacterial species actually cause disease. These harmful bacteria are responsible for illnesses such as strep throat, bacterial pneumonia, meningitis, tuberculosis, urinary tract infections, Lyme disease, and many types of food poisoning. These are the infections that antibiotics are designed to treat. If you like similar educational content, please like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. Viruses, on the other hand, are much simpler. They are not complete living cells. A virus is essentially genetic material wrapped inside a protective protein coat. Unlike bacteria, viruses cannot reproduce by themselves. They must invade a living cell and hijack its machinery to produce new virus particles. This is exactly why antibiotics do not work against viruses. Antibiotics are designed to attack structures and biological processes that exist only inside bacterial cells. Viruses simply do not have those structures. Taking antibiotics for illnesses such as the common cold, influenza, or most sore throats caused by viruses provides no benefit and does not speed up recovery. So how do antibiotics actually kill bacteria? Different antibiotics attack different weak points inside bacterial cells. Some prevent bacteria from building their cell wall, causing them to burst under internal pressure. Others block the production of proteins, preventing bacteria from growing and reproducing. Some interfere with the copying of bacterial DNA, while others disrupt essential metabolic processes that bacteria need to survive. The remarkable thing is that human cells are largely unaffected because they are built very differently from bacterial cells. This ability to target bacteria without seriously harming our own cells is known as selective toxicity, and it is one of the greatest achievements of modern pharmacology. Today, scientists have developed dozens of different classes of antibiotics, each designed to fight particular groups of bacteria. This is why doctors carefully choose the most appropriate antibiotic depending on the type of infection and the specific bacteria responsible. But antibiotics themselves have a fascinating origin. In the next chapter, we'll discover how one accidental laboratory observation changed medicine forever, and how a simple mold led to one of the greatest scientific breakthroughs in history. The story of antibiotics begins with one of the most famous scientific accidents of all time. In 1928, Scottish bacteriologist Alexander Fleming was working at St. Mary's Hospital in London, studying harmful bacteria in his laboratory. Before leaving for vacation, he had left several Petri dishes containing bacterial cultures on his workbench. When Fleming returned, he noticed that one of the dishes had become contaminated with a mold. Normally, this would have meant a failed experiment that most scientists would simply throw away. But Fleming observed something extraordinary. Around the mold was a perfectly clear ring where no bacteria were growing. It appeared that the mold was producing a substance capable of killing bacteria. The mold belonged to the species Penicillium notatum, and Fleming named the antibacterial substance penicillin. He immediately realized that this discovery could have enormous medical potential. However, there was one major problem. Penicillin was extremely difficult to isolate and produce in large quantities, making it impossible to use as a practical medicine at the time. More than a decade later, Scientists Howard Florey, Ernst Boris Chain, and their research team at the University of Oxford solved this problem. They developed methods to grow the mold on a large scale, extract penicillin, purify it, and produce enough of the drug for medical treatment. Their breakthrough came at exactly the right moment. During World War II, bacterial infections were killing countless wounded soldiers. Even relatively minor injuries could become fatal if bacteria entered the bloodstream. Mass production of penicillin dramatically reduced deaths from infected wounds and quickly became one of the most important medical advances of the 20th century. For this revolutionary discovery, Alexander Fleming, Howard Florey, and Ernst Boris Chain were jointly awarded the 1945 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. What many people do not realize is that humans did not invent antibiotics. Long before humans appeared on Earth, microorganisms had already been fighting microscopic wars for hundreds of millions of years. In nature, bacteria and fungi constantly compete for food and space. During evolution, some molds and bacteria developed the ability to produce chemicals that kill or slow the growth of competing bacteria. These natural chemical weapons gave them a survival advantage. Penicillin is just one example of these naturally occurring antibiotics. Over the following decades, scientists discovered many more antibiotic-producing microorganisms. One of the most important groups is the soil bacterium Streptomyces, which has produced numerous antibiotics still used in hospitals today. In fact, soil is one of the richest sources of antibiotics on Earth. Beneath every handful of soil, millions of microorganisms compete for survival, creating an invisible battlefield where natural antibiotics have evolved over millions of years. Today, scientists no longer rely solely on nature. Many modern antibiotics are semi-synthetic, meaning researchers chemically modify naturally occurring antibiotic molecules to improve their effectiveness, extend how long they remain active in the body, reduce side effects, or enable them to fight a broader range of bacteria. In the next chapter, we'll explore how modern pharmaceutical companies manufacture antibiotics on an industrial scale, from microscopic microorganisms growing inside giant fermentation tanks to the medicines that save millions of lives every year. Manufacturing antibiotics is one of the most carefully controlled processes in the pharmaceutical industry. Although the finished product may look like an ordinary tablet or capsule, producing it requires advanced microbiology, biotechnology, chemistry, engineering, and strict quality control. Surprisingly, the process still begins with tiny living microorganisms. Many antibiotics are produced using bacteria or fungi that naturally manufacture antibiotic compounds. Scientists simply provide these microorganisms with ideal conditions so they can produce as much of the desired substance as possible. The first step is selecting the right microbial strain. Pharmaceutical companies use specially developed strains that have been carefully bred, or in some cases genetically improved, to produce much larger quantities of antibiotics than their wild ancestors. These valuable microorganisms are stored in highly secure laboratories and are regularly tested to ensure their genetic stability. Next comes the heart of the production process: fermentation. The microorganisms are transferred into enormous stainless steel tanks called bioreactors, or fermenters. Some industrial fermenters hold tens of thousands of liters of nutrient solution. Inside these vessels, the microorganisms receive everything they need to grow: water, sugars, nitrogen compounds, minerals, vitamins, oxygen, and carefully controlled temperatures. The entire process is monitored by sophisticated computer systems around the clock. Sensors continuously measure temperature, pressure, acidity, oxygen concentration, nutrient levels, and mixing speed. Even small changes in these conditions can significantly reduce antibiotic production or spoil an entire batch. As the microorganisms multiply, they eventually begin producing antibiotics. Interestingly, many species do not manufacture antibiotics while they are growing rapidly. Instead, they start producing them later, when nutrients become limited and competition increases. In nature, antibiotics function as chemical weapons, helping microorganisms eliminate nearby competitors and gain access to limited resources. Once fermentation is complete, the antibiotic must be separated from everything else inside the tank. At this stage, the mixture contains water, nutrients, proteins, microbial cells, and many unwanted byproducts. Scientists use several purification techniques, including filtration, centrifugation, solvent extraction, crystallization, and chromatography, to isolate the active antibiotic ingredient with extremely high purity. For many modern medicines, production does not stop there. Chemists often modify the natural antibiotic molecule to create semi-synthetic antibiotics. By changing only a small part of the molecule, they can improve how well it penetrates bacterial cells, increase its stability inside the human body, broaden the range of bacteria it can kill, or make it more resistant to bacterial defense mechanisms. Before any antibiotic reaches pharmacies or hospitals, every production batch undergoes extensive quality testing. Scientists verify the purity, concentration, chemical stability, sterility, dissolution rate, and absence of harmful contaminants. Only after passing all of these strict tests can the antibiotic be manufactured into tablets, capsules, liquid suspensions, creams, eye drops, or injectable medications. From start to finish, producing a single batch of antibiotics can take several weeks and involves microbiologists, biotechnologists, chemists, pharmacists, engineers, and quality control specialists working together. It is one of the most sophisticated manufacturing processes in modern medicine. Every year, scientists discover new bacteria, identify new resistance mechanisms, and develop more advanced medicines. The battle between humans and harmful bacteria has continued for billions of years, and it will continue into the future. Thanks to scientific research, biotechnology, and responsible use of antibiotics, we continue to develop new ways to stay one step ahead. At their core, antibiotics demonstrate one of the most remarkable achievements of modern science. By understanding the microscopic world, humanity has learned to fight diseases that once claimed millions of lives, and continues working to protect future generations from the evolving challenges of bacterial infections.